The birth of an empire, 1868–1905. In 1868, under the weight of political and social upheaval, Japan emerges from centuries of isolation. The Tokugawa shogunate has fallen, and a teenage emperor named Meiji ascends the throne with a vision for transformation. The old samurai order fades into history, replaced by ambitions of building a modern nation that rivals Western powers. The Meiji Restoration becomes the catalyst for rapid change. Japan, once steeped in feudal tradition, begins a relentless march towards modernization. Steamships soon replace the ancient wooden junks floating in its harbors, and the iconic samurai swords are set aside for rifles, symbolizing the military evolution. Meiji's government is astute in recognizing the power of knowledge. A strategic move is made by sending students and envoys to Europe and America to absorb foreign sciences, arts, military strategies, industry practices, and even fashion. The aim is clear: to muster the intellectual resources required for national reinvention. Within decades, Japan metamorphoses into an industrial powerhouse. By 1895, the world is stunned as Japan overcomes China in the First Sino-Japanese War. The victory demonstrates Japan's capacity not only as a regional power, but also as a force capable of defying the expectations of the global stage. In 1905, Japan shakes the foundations of international politics further by defeating the Russian Empire in the Russo-Japanese War. This victory establishes Japan as not just an Asian powerhouse, but as a formidable entity in world affairs. Losing against Japan serves as a wake-up call to imperial powers, revealing the potency of Japan's ambition and strategic acumen. With these triumphs, Japan's reputation grows. Japan, invigorated by its successes, sets its sights on further greatness, hungry for more conquest and ambition. It is now not just a player, but a front-running contender on the global stage. The empire spreads its wings. 1905–1931. Flush with pride and power, Japan sets its sights on building an empire. With Korea annexed, Taiwan declared a colony, and the resource-rich Manchuria being eyed as a strategic prize, Japan's ambitions seem unstoppable. However, beneath the surface of a booming economy, a storm is brewing. Rapid industrialization is bringing prosperity, but also exacerbates inequality. Political tensions simmer as traditional values clash with modernity. The military, enthralled by Japan's overseas victories, begin to dominate national policy, steering the country towards an increasingly militant path. As Western powers continue their domination and division of Asia, Japan begins to feel boxed in and cornered. Its leaders, fueled by nationalism and a vision to liberate Asia from Western control, see themselves as destined to be the leaders of the East. This ambitious ideology dictated that Japan must grow stronger, leading its rulers to believe further expansion was necessary. Thus, the seeds of militarism were planted, sowing the future of cataclysmic conflict. National pride turned to aggressive ambition, forcing the nation into a race for power that would transcend borders and ignite tensions worldwide. As Japan continued to expand further, the once uncontrollable militarism would eventually spiral beyond any nation's control, foreshadowing a turbulent era ahead. The Empire at War, 1931–1945. In Japan's history, this is a period marked by both glory and devastation. It unfolds as Japan expands its empire aggressively, defying international norms, driven by nationalistic fervor and powerful propaganda. Japan starts with the invasion of Manchuria in 1931, which signifies the beginning of its militaristic ambitions. Despite the League of Nations condemnation, Japan's resolve only strengthens, and by the late 1930s, it is embroiled in full-scale warfare in China. The city of Nanjing succumbs to brutal occupation, an event that remains infamous for the atrocities committed. Amidst the bloodshed, the Japanese populace at home is bombarded with propaganda extolling the virtues of sacrifice for the emperor. The rising sun flag flies over vast territories as Japan's empire expands across Southeast Asia and into the Pacific, embodying its moment of glory. Confidence in its military might leads to the audacious attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, a strike intended to cripple the U.S. Pacific Fleet and establish Japan as the dominant power in the Pacific. Initially, Japan triumphs, seizing victory after victory and advancing its holdings. However, the landscape soon changes. The United States, taken by surprise yet resolute in its response, embarks on a campaign to reclaim the Pacific theater, pushing Japanese forces back, island by island. As the war drags on, Japan faces a dire situation. By 1945, its cities lie in ruins, fire-bombed beyond recognition. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki deliver a devastating blow, rendering further resistance futile. Emperor Hirohito, recognizing the catastrophic destruction and the hopelessness of continued conflict, makes the historic decision to surrender. With his pronouncement of surrender, the Empire of the Rising Sun collapses, leaving a poignant legacy. A tale of ambition that soared to glory, only to be eclipsed by ultimate devastation. A story ending here would seem hopeless. However, the damaged nation breathes deeply to begin the effort of rebuilding and re-establishment. 1945 present, the phoenix rises. In the waning moments of World War II, Japan, once a formidable empire, found itself in ashes and chaos. Cities lay in ruins, plagued with smoke and silence. Millions had lost their lives, and what was left of their land was marked by sorrow. The country's imperial ambitions ceased, leaving behind a legacy characterized by devastation. But from the ruins emerged a new narrative. Under the watchful eye of the United States during the period of occupation, Japan embarked on a path of recovery and innovation. No longer hunters of conquest, the spirit that once fueled the shoguns and samurais now found purpose in the pursuit of peace and progress. Instead of warriors, Japan nurtured thinkers and creators, souls driven by discipline and sparked by innovation. By embracing humility, Japan commenced an inspiring journey of resurrection. The land of the rising sun sparkled once again, this time with the radiance of industry and creativity. Investment in education transformed generations, cultivating minds capable of unprecedented advances in science and technology. Cars rolled out of assembly lines, revolutionizing the automotive world with their precision and reliability. Electronics became synonymous with Japanese craftsmanship, turning homes around the world into tech havens. Anime and design captured hearts globally, reshaping modern culture in vivid color and imaginative narratives. Japan, once feared for its military might, now emanated a different kind of power, the power of brilliance and resilience. The world looked to Japan not as a threatening conqueror, but as a pioneer in industry and innovation. The story of Imperial Japan had ended, but the chronicles of modern Japan began, a powerful testament to transformation and rebirth. From ashes to beauty, from solemnity to vibrancy, Japan's journey stands as a beacon of how power can destroy and humility can rebuild. A country reborn, a phoenix rising from its ashes to dawn a new era of prosperity, peace, and promise. Did you enjoy this video? Leave a like and a comment sharing what you'd like to see a video on next, and hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.